Etsy is far from the perfect platform for print-on-demand sellers. While it does bring buyers to your products, there's listing fees, unexpected shop suspensions, high competition with a lot of spam, and it's difficult to open stores in certain countries. That's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the issues for sellers. That's why in this video, I'll be breaking down 10 alternative similar marketplaces that also bring you free traffic. All you have to do is upload your products. For each marketplace, we'll look at how it stacks up against Etsy, the types of products that do well, pros and cons, traffic stats, fees and costs of selling, and take a look at their advertising and social media reach to find out how much free traffic they're bringing to sellers like you. Plus, if you're already selling on Etsy, why not expand and diversify your business income streams by listing your products on some of these other marketplaces as well. Let's get started. First up is Amazon. I started uploading my best sellers from Etsy onto here around about July of this year. I've been averaging 1 to 2 sales a day since then, with just around 100 uploads. I've actually made 3 sales today, so good day to film this video for sure. Not done any advertising, so completely organic marketplace traffic. Now at the moment, I have a lot less products uploaded on here compared to what I have on Etsy, but I'm pretty happy with the results so far. I haven't put in too much work yet, and I'm already finding it's easier to make sales on here than I did when I started out on Etsy. However, there are a few important things that I need to warn you about that can trap new sellers if you're unaware of them, so I'll get to those later on. Firstly, if you're unfamiliar with selling on Amazon, there's a lot of ways to sell print on demand on it, which can get confusing. The way that I'm selling on Amazon is through Seller Central, fulfilled by merchant, or FBM, and this is the one that makes the most sense if you are using a fulfillment service like Printify or Printful. Although I did see that they merged recently, so that'll be interesting. You can also convert FBM listings to FBA or fulfilled by Amazon and buy inventory up front to send it to Amazon warehouses. This is something I'm planning to do in the future as well. Now, Printify integrates with Amazon Seller Central, so whenever I get an order, it gets imported into my Printify account. So that means I don't have to fill in the name and the whole address every single time. If I was selling on a marketplace that does not integrate, then I would have to dropship, which means that creating a new order and typing in the address and name and telephone number, all that stuff myself. You can go one step further and automate this entire process using SKUs, so you don't even have to approve it before it's sent to production. I just prefer selecting the product myself every time because I have some products with variations and other complicated stuff. You can also sell custom products using Amazon Custom, and this can be accessed through your Seller Central listings after you register. And through Seller Central, you can pretty much sell any product, just like any other Amazon seller, really. Although I do think it is in your best interest to not try and compete with Merch by Amazon products, which is their selective print-on-demand program. So I would suggest avoiding these products if you can. Amazon gets around 2 million visits per month, this orange line here, so substantially more traffic than Etsy, which probably explains why I found it easier to make sales on Amazon just starting out. I had to upload way more than 100 products to start seeing daily sales on Etsy. I'm also kind of surprised because all my listings are FBM, so they automatically rank lower than most sellers who have FBA listings. Obviously, we've got to take into account that it is Q4 at the moment, but I will definitely be investing more time into Amazon next year based on the results I've got so far. They do mention a stat that says most sellers make their first sale within 60 days. And while I do think it's easier to make sales when you know what you are doing, I also think there's a much bigger learning curve and longer setup process initially than with Etsy, especially relating to account verification and branding and stuff like that. Another thing I have to warn you about is the policy called OTDR, or on-time delivery rate, which they say that sellers need to maintain above a 90% on-time delivery rate, otherwise they might not be allowed to sell merchant fulfilled products anymore. Now, Amazon is the only platform that actually cares about this. Most sellers think it's quite unfair because it's really hard to control the actual delivery process itself. Like, so many things can go wrong with the shipping carrier, but that's just the policy that they have. So this is a difference because if you sold on Etsy, you'll know that they do not care about the actual delivery date. They just want you to ship your orders on time. So there's 2 things to be aware of now. To deal with this, it's worth extending your handling time, which you can find in your listing upload, especially in the holiday season, or if you are a new seller without much selling history, because each late order counts towards a bigger percentage of towards that 90%, if that makes sense. So yeah, the added perk is getting very happy customers whose orders arrive a lot earlier than they expect. Now, if you are using a service like Printify, They're usually pretty quick to ship the orders. As you can see, most of my recent orders were shipped in less than 3 business days. So you're not going to likely need that much shipping time, but instead it's just allowing more time for the order to deliver in case there's problems along the way. Because if you have a longer handling time, the expected delivery date also gets pushed back as well. So that's just my tip for maintaining account health. I also charge extra for expedited shipping, which is not really expedited. It's just not pushed back a shocking amount compared to the normal listing. So it's a good way to make some extra money. And yes, I do have a pretty shocking handling time of 8 days, not including weekends. You could probably, well, you could definitely get away with about 5, but I just want to be extra safe for the holidays. And believe it or not, I am still making sales. People still buying even though they see this. So just goes to show how much traffic there is to go around. I'm definitely going to reduce this after the holidays are over. So how much does it cost to sell on Amazon? Well, firstly, you will need the professional seller plan, which costs around £25 per month, or like $30 per month, I think. You cannot use the individual plan if you want to sell print on demand, because you need to be able to edit shipping templates or integrate with the provider as well. I know this seems expensive, but remember, you can upload as many products as you want once you have an account. There's no additional listing fees per item like Etsy has. So the more you upload, the more economical it gets. And then they have referral fees per item sold. So these range from 8 to 15%. Now, when I've listed a $15 product, that's cost me $2.25 in fees. So that is 15%. But the fees surprisingly add up to less than Etsy's, which is around 17% for me, actually, because Etsy just has so many small individual hidden fees. Now, in addition to their core marketplace traffic, they also advertise on Meta, which contains basically every human on the planet, so you won't be lacking traffic here. To get started selling on Amazon with Seller Central, go to sell.amazon.com to sign up. If you want a walkthrough tutorial, remember I do have a video for beginners on my channel, which I've linked in the description. You can go watch that after you finish watching this video. If you've gotten value out of this free content so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications bell to get notified when I upload new videos. You can also give me feedback, ask questions, or suggest future videos using the mailing list in the description below, and that goes straight into my inbox. Next up is Bonanza. I've been researching my next marketplace to upload to, and this has been one of my favorites so far. You'll see why very soon. This is a website where anyone can set up a storefront called a booth and sell pretty much anything. Very quick to set up. It's a lot easier of a registration process than Etsy, especially if you just log in with your Google account, and you can just start selling your print-on-demand products on here straight away. Now, a lot of their main popular categories are the same as the ones that are hot on Etsy as well. You can even sell digital products. You can also sell things that you can't sell on Etsy, like electronics and movies. If we do a search for print-on-demand type products, we can see that the competition, while it still exists, is a lot less on here than on Etsy. For example, you're competing with just 17k listings for the keyword funny shirt, whereas on Etsy it'll be way into the millions. And if we sort by relevancy, you can see a lot of similar stuff that sells on Amazon and Etsy also sells here as well. Now, what I like about Bonanza is that they're adamant on being a seller-centric marketplace. Now, I'm not denying the customer's always right, but you can't just be suspending sellers out of nowhere and ignoring seller support requests. Like, come on. And this shows in their ratings. Sellers seem to love this marketplace in comparison to Etsy and the rest, so I'm sure they're doing something right here. If you're selling on any major platform already, you can import your existing products from Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and Shopify, or just a CSV. Now, it's completely free to start selling on here and list items, and their fees are pretty small compared to other marketplaces, so it's 3.5% selling fee per transaction plus a 25-cent transaction fee. And they haven't put it on the graph here, but Etsy's fees add up to around 15 to 20% per sale. So that's a significantly lower cost to sell on here. Now, they do have an optional advertising program with Google Ads that you can opt into, and they will take an extra 5.5% on fees made using Google Ads. At least they let you choose that rather than Etsy that just automatically enrolls everyone onto offsite ads and takes a huge chunk of your profit. Having had a look around the marketplace, most of the products that seem to be selling are listed at higher prices than on Etsy as well, and people probably still buy due to the lower competition here. Now, while this is completely free to sell on, if you're willing to invest a little bit and get some more traffic, or if you have a lot of products, it may be worth considering getting one of these memberships to boost your traffic and also get rid of that 25-cent transaction fee. They let you advertise on other platforms as well if you wish, including Google Shopping, their affiliate network, and eBay. Now, they say on the website that the marketplace itself gets around 2 million visits per month. SimilarWeb estimates around 1.4 million visits per month, so that sounds about right. Admittedly, it's a small fraction of Etsy's 400 million, but remember that's direct visitors, so without the advertising to all their other affiliate websites and eBay as well. Their social followings that bring in organic traffic are pretty reasonable, and they're doing pretty well on Pinterest, bringing in a lot of monthly views, and this is shown in their traffic stats, so a large portion of their social traffic is Pinterest. I reckon YouTube's just like their affiliate marketing program, and they're pretty strong on the affiliate marketing. AWin is their affiliate marketing program. So with all this organic traffic, I guess they can afford to charge lower fees per sale because they're not completely reliant on paid ads. They also seem to get a lot of traffic from these coupon sites as well. Start selling on here, go to bonanza.com, hover over sell and click on start selling. Before we move on to the next marketplace, I wanted to tell you about why I made the switch from Canva to Kittl and now use it as my primary design tool for print on demand. Kittl stands out because it's specifically designed with print on demand sellers in mind. It's highly customizable templates along with graphics and AI generator make designing extremely easy whether you're a beginner or have some experience. On top of that, Kittl's design style and elements are more sophisticated and tailored for popular t-shirt design trends, which also translate well to other products. Unlike tools like Canva, which caters to a broader audience, Kittl is laser focused on meeting the needs of print-on-demand sellers and commercial merchandise creators. Kittl's text distortion and textures feature is probably my favorite tool on their platform. I absolutely love this because previously I had to export Canva fonts onto Photoshop to distort the text and add features using layer masks, which is a pretty tedious process. And while there might be workarounds in other software, they tend to be far more complex. Kittl makes it effortless, offering these features in just a few clicks without needing plugins or additional software. Plus, it's a web-based tool, so no downloads are required. Kittl has very clear and transparent business licensing, and you can confidently use edited templates or AI-generated images for commercial purposes, making it my go-to platform. If you'd like to try it out today, there's a free plan to explore the platform before committing, and for 25% off your first month or year off a Kittl Pro or Expert plan, use the link in my description and enter code TIAYT, that's TIAYT, at checkout to claim your discount. Many thanks to Kittl for sponsoring this video. Number 3 is selling on TikTok Shop, and the surprising thing about this is that you don't need any followers, you don't even need to create any TikTok videos at all. This is a standalone marketplace on TikTok, just like Amazon or Etsy, wedged inside of the TikTok app, separate from the actual video content, so you can just upload products on here and get free traffic. Now, some people are definitely doing pretty well with print on demand here. You can pretty much sell anything, and if you're from the US, you can also integrate your Printify account with TikTok Shop, so you can get the addresses imported automatically. But at the moment, that's only available for US citizens. Hopefully they expand that someday. But still, if you're living outside the US like me, you can just drop ship by entering the address into your provider every time you get an order. I believe Printful actually does integrate it with it directly, so you can use that as well. Now, TikTok is huge, especially among younger people. They get 2.2 billion visits per month, and about 1 billion of these are completely unique visitors. It's plenty of chance to get your product seen, because a lot of those people will be going on the shop tab as well. The app has reviews in the 8 figures, so no shortage of traffic on here. And it's relatively new marketplace. It was launched at the end of 2023, whereas all these other sites like Amazon and Etsy have been around for years, so there's a lot less competition at the moment. Perfect time to get in. Now, it's worth noting that the majority of TikTok creators and users are under the age of 30. It's famously known for having a much younger demographic, so it's not the group of people that is known for having the most money, which is why if you're selling products at a lower price point, they'll probably work better on here than very high ticket products. It's completely free to start selling. Anyone can do this, and there's no listing fees per item, so you can just post as many products as you want, and you only get charged when you sell an item. The fees are extremely low if you upload a product within 60 days of opening your account. You only have to pay 1.8% in fees for the first 30 days, and after that it's only 5% per sale, which is still extremely low compared to Etsy's 15 to 20%. To start selling on TikTok Shop, you will need a normal TikTok account, preferably a business one, which you can connect up to a TikTok Shop account by going to seller.tiktok.com, where you need to pick a region to sell to, and then they're going to ask you to verify your ID as well, and then you can pretty much just get started selling. Number 4 is eBay. I'm sure most people are familiar with this website. It's basically a place that's known for getting and selling secondhand stuff, and anyone can open a store and just start listing products, basically. A lot of people seem to be doing well with print on demand on here. or should I say products that can be sold with print on demand. And just like Etsy or Amazon, you can connect your account to a production partner and pretty much sell any product on here. So you can connect your Printify account to eBay and get your orders synced and imported automatically without you having to type in each address for every order. eBay is now free to start selling on, and you can get 300 free listings every month. That does not include listings with variations or multiple quantities. You can also pay extra fees to get listing upgrades, but those are optional. Fees per sale add up to about maybe a little less than Etsy. You get charged 12.8% of the total amount of the sale plus 30p, and if you sell items over £5,000, you'll pay a 3% fee, but I'm sure that does not apply to most of us. And there's also a regulatory operating fee of 0.42% and an international fee based on your country of residence, which is about 3% in the UK. Yeah, it's not the lowest fees out there, but it's pretty comparable to Etsy. Traffic-wise, eBay gets around 600 million visits per month. That's around 1.5 times the amount that Etsy gets. Most of their customers come from the United States, and they have a pretty good proportion of direct traffic because they have very good brand recognition. It's definitely a place that people go to start their shopping journey. They're running quite a few meta ads as well, with millions of followers across Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook, so plenty of organic and social traffic. Now, I mentioned this before in previous videos, but in terms of my experience on here, I got suspended from eBay just like the second I signed up because there was an issue which I think was relating to my business address because it's shared with a lot of other businesses. So hopefully you don't have any issues. I'm thinking of getting back on here someday, possibly after trying a few more platforms, because I do have an individual account that's still active. So I could try selling through there, but we'll see about that because I don't want to get suspended again. In the meantime, I think it's a pretty good place to get free traffic. If you're selling on Etsy already, it seems to be quite similar to Etsy. Number 5 is Google Shopping. Now, you do not have to run Google Ads to access Google Shopping's free marketplace by posting on your own website. Now, if we search for something like funny shirt in Google, and then we go to the shopping tab, we can see that there's sponsored posts up here. These are people who are running Google Ads, paying to be at the top of search. But if we scroll down just a little, you'll notice that there are independent sellers who are ranking below that and getting a lot of free traffic as well from Google. These are all free shopping listings. Obviously, we can see some of the big websites like eBay and Amazon, but also these smaller independent websites as well. So it's absolutely possible to have your listings show up on here and to take advantage of the shoppers browsing on Google. I've made quite a few sales through Google Shopping listings from my Shopify store. And nowadays, while most of my traffic to my Shopify store comes from Google search, organic search, Google Shopping still makes up about 1/10 of it, and an organic search can be hard to rank in if your website is new. And Google Shopping is still competitive, but it will be less competitive than Google search results. You're basically competing against every single website on the planet. You can connect your e-commerce listings to Google Shopping through a Shopify store. It doesn't have to be Shopify. You can pretty much use any e-commerce web builder like WooCommerce, Wix, as long as they integrate with the Google Merchant Center, which I'll be showing you. So this is the Google Merchant Center. All you need to do is type in Google Merchant Center into Google and then sign up and connect your shop to your GMC account. There should be a lot of free tutorials online on how to do this, and then go down to marketing, free listings, and turn on the free listings to approve your products to show in Google Shopping. Then if you're running a Shopify store, make sure to select Google and YouTube when you upload a new product in the managed sales channels, and that should be it really. Google gets over 84 billion visits per month, so you can bet that a proportion of that traffic is going to be going into the Google Shopping listings section. And while it is extremely competitive, there are a lot of listings and e-commerce websites on Google. It's not entirely impossible if you include highly searched keywords in your listings. I managed to get organic sales from Shopify just uploading products. I had no idea that was something that was even possible without using paid ads or social media. You can use the Google Ads keyword planner to help with this, to find high demand keywords. And overall, while competition is high, there are also a lot of people to go around. Another marketplace worth mentioning, which you can get free traffic from by having a Shopify store, is number 6, the Shop.pay website or app. Now, this is like a marketplace full of random Shopify products from various brands. And while it seems to me, at least, that nobody actually knows this exists, it does get almost 80 million visits per month. And again, the way to access this is that if you have a Shopify store, you can turn on the shop sales channel when you upload products. Now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen much traffic from the shop marketplace. I certainly haven't made any sales from it, but it's worth a try and it might work better for some of you than it did for me. Most of my Shopify traffic does still come from Google, some from my existing Etsy customers, but they don't really seem to buy anyway, so it's mostly just Google shoppers that convert. But hopefully now knowing that you can actually get free traffic to your own website from Google encourages some of you to start one. I think that even though my sales on my own website currently pale in comparison to what I'm getting on Etsy, it should be said that I'm not running ads at the moment, but I do plan to someday. I just sleep better at night knowing that if something happened to my Etsy account, I could pivot quickly to focus more of my time on my Shopify with a head start, because ultimately when you're selling on somebody else's platform, they just can ban you whenever they want. And also on your own platform, you can collect customer emails and actually use it to remarket to them. So it's a good long-term strategy to actually build an asset that you could sell one day. Number 7 is Storenvy, which is a marketplace where people go to get unique gifts. It's kind of similar to Bonanza in that most of the popular categories are what sells well on Etsy, but they also let you sell categories that you can't really sell or like have very tight restrictions on Etsy, such as health and beauty and tech. So if we just do a quick search for some of the t-shirts that are selling well, you can see that funny phrases and text-based designs in the style that sells well on other platforms also sells on here. Now, if we have a look at the About page, we can see that there's 8,718 sellers at the moment, which is minuscule competition compared to Etsy. I think there's like over 7 million or something sellers on Etsy now. And if we look at the trending section, we can see that a lot of the popular stuff is actually stuff that we can sell with print on demand. Now, how well you rank on the marketplace here depends on how many envies and watches you get. It's basically the equivalent of favorites and follows on Etsy, but it seems like they're putting more weight onto that. And I guess their idea is to try and create a marketplace that's like a social media platform. So the more engagement and viral a product post gets, the higher it ranks. I think that's what they're going for. You can set up your own mini storefront on the marketplace that looks something like this. Now, traffic-wise, they get about 750,000 visitors per month. Not the strongest on this list, but not like completely negligible, especially when you consider that there's only 8,000 or so sellers in the marketplace. A good portion of visitors from the United States, and over a third being directed visitors as well, so pretty solid brand recognition. Now, to start out, they do offer a free plan where you can set up a store with up to 20 products, which admittedly is not fantastic. They go all the way up to a professional plan where you can max out 5,000 products. I think when I have more time, I will have a go at this website someday because the competition's just very low. I mean, if it stays very low, then why not? And I guess probably start with the artisan plan, upload like 100 products because I don't think you're going to get anywhere with 20 products. And then if stuff ends up selling, I might upgrade to the professional plan and then try and max out to 5,000. Because even though they don't get that much traffic, if you think about it, there's only 8,000 sellers on here. So if you got 5,000 listings, that is taking up a huge portion of this small marketplace, which is not a terrible shout, to be honest. But if I end up doing that, then it all depends on the results, doesn't it? So if I don't get any sales, obviously I won't be paying them loads of money per month to upload products. The fees can get kind of hefty as well. So the base fee is 15%, slightly less than Etsy. But if you want your products to be enrolled in their Google and Facebook marketing, you will have to pay a 25% rate. In the meantime, if you want to have a go at selling on here, you can go to storenvy.com and click on open your own marketplace under this sign up button. Number 8 is Walmart, which is a big US retailer that now allows independent sellers from outside the US as well to sell on it, similar to Amazon, and gets millions of visitors per month, as we will see later. But the crazy thing is how little competition there is on it at the moment. Like if we search for funny shirt, we only get 317 results, and on Etsy that would be in the hundreds of thousands, if not the millions. But Walmart gets around the same traffic as Etsy, so huge opportunity here. They get over 255 million visitors per week, and they've grown a lot since last year. They're sort of similar to Amazon Seller Central in that you can sell into various marketplaces. They have 0 monthly selling fees, which is super cool because Amazon is pretty expensive to sell on. Now, Printify doesn't integrate with Walmart directly at the moment, but Printful does, so you can use them. Otherwise, you can just dropship items from whichever provider. Now, they have this long list of fees that you can find on their website, but the ones to point out are mainly for print-on-demand sellers. The apparel and accessories category, which ranges from 5 to 15% in fees, home and garden, and indoor and outdoor furniture, which is around 15%, and kitchen, which is also 15%. So in a nutshell, expect 15% in fees. You can also ship inventory into the Walmart fulfillment services. So this is like the equivalent of Amazon FBA. If you want to buy stuff up front for cheaper and have them fulfill it for you, then they've got the fees for that on their website. So you can check that out as well if you are interested. Now, when you sign up, they will ask you to verify your identity with a passport or driver's license, your address with a utility bill or bank statement, and also your certificate of incorporation if you are a company. You will also be asked for an EIN number, which is a tax number issued in the US. If you're outside of the US, you can get one of these from the IRS. Walmart gets 432 million visits per month, which is about the same, just slightly more than Etsy, but obviously a lot less competition at the moment from independent sellers. Most of their customers come from the United States and get over half their traffic direct, so people are searching for Walmart specifically to start their shopping journey. They're running a lot of paid meta ads, so over 2,000, bringing free traffic to their sellers with paid advertising. Very solid social following as well, millions of followers on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. You should go check out their Instagram, it's absolute jokes. To start selling on Walmart, you can go to seller.walmart.com/sign up, which will let you create your seller account. Next up is eCrater.com, which lets you sell on their marketplace and open up a free online store. They do have separate domain extensions for .co.uk and other countries as well. And as you can see, not much competition here at all, even if I search for the keyword mug, where on Etsy and Amazon there will be millions of results. There's only 6,000 or so items on here. Now, while they do provide you with free traffic, they are not a marketplace facilitator, so you have to connect your PayPal or Stripe and you receive money directly from the customers. So no payout waiting, basically, which is good. You can directly import your eBay products if you're selling on there. There's a maximum of 10,000 products, which I'm guessing should be enough for the most of us. It's completely free to open a store, and what I gather from this is that there are actually no selling fees if you drive your own traffic to your store, but if you make a sale through their marketplace or from Google Ads, I've seen a lot of their products rank pretty highly on Google actually, then they will invoice you for a cost. Now, confusingly, they say you are not required or obliged to pay this marketing cost, but what I gather is that they say they will just stop showing your listings in Google Shopping if you keep refusing to pay. So you're just going to have to drive your own traffic. So it's not like a donation type of deal. eCrater gets about 500,000 visitors per month. Most of their visitors come from the United States, and organic search makes up the bulk of their traffic. I have spotted them ranking pretty highly in free Google Shopping listings. So if you're wanting to access the Google Shopping marketplace without setting up a whole Shopify store, which can be a bit of a hassle, this could be a way to do it. To start selling on eCrater, go to eCrater.com and then click on open your 100% free online store. Next up is Faire, which is a wholesale marketplace for B2B or business to business retailers. So on here, you're actually selling to retail businesses with like physical brick and mortar stores who want to stock up your products on their shelves to sell from independent brands. So this is a very different marketplace to all the others on this list, which focus on B2C or business to consumer selling. Here, you're going to be selling to businesses. Now, as you can see, there's over 100,000 brands, and obviously, it depends on how much over they mean, but in the grand scheme of things, that is not a lot of competition at all compared to Etsy's 7 million sellers, and Faire is quite selective about their customers. So only business owners will be able to actually buy from here. If you're just a consumer browsing, then they will tell you to go away and go to the brand's website, basically. There's definitely a lot of popular products on here that you could sell with print on demand. And the cool thing is that here they assume by default that businesses will be buying in bulk. So it's not out of the ordinary to see a lot of products being sold at once, even if your unit price is going to have to be lower. The print on demand companies also offer lower shipping with each additional item, so that should be able to cover the cost. And obviously I can imagine it would be very nice to get an order of like 20 items in one go. Now, something relating to fees that you should be aware about is that if you bring your own customers, you pay 0% in fees. But if a customer discovers you through the Faire marketplace, they will charge a 15% commission. And also, for every new customer that discovers you, you will be charged an entire $10. So they're really going for the repeat customers here, and that is something to keep in mind. Faire gets a pretty healthy 5 million visitors per month, with most of these being retail businesses looking to stock their shelves. Audience largely in the United States and United Kingdom. And as you can see, a huge amount of the traffic comes from direct, more than 2/3, indicating they have a very strong brand presence, and this is the go-to place for retailers to look for items. They're running 420 ad creatives on Meta, and they've got 1.1 million Meta Facebook followers and about 1 million on IG as well, so reasonably solid social following. If you want a step-by-step tutorial of how to sell print on demand on Amazon, check out the video on screen right now. Many thanks to Kittl for sponsoring this video. You can use my code TYT, that's TIAYT for 25% off your first month or year of a Kittl Pro or Expert plan. I'll see you guys in the next one.